So here's an entertaining one that not only is it going viral on Reddit, it is going viral across the internet, where I actually found an article on Fox News just yesterday on Saturday covering this whole story. All about a guy whose stepson requested that his girlfriend come live in their house over the summer. Apparently she comes from, a really messed up living situation with her family. They're a bunch of alcoholics. That type of thing is bad. And so he decided to do his stepson a favor. Well, guess what? It isn't long before this girl is trying to have this guy make all these changes in his house to accommodate her. Yeah, really. And of course, the internet is going wild over this whole thing. And I'll be very going to go over here once again reminding you guys that, guys, it's your house, your rules. No one tells you what's what in your castle. And, of course, an example of the level of entitlement that the young generation, many, not all, but many of the young generation has today. And this one is definitely going to have you guys go nuts in the comment section. Titled, Am I the a-hole for not changing how I live for my stepson's girlfriend? He says, my stepson, Ben, a 20-year-old male, is living with us right now during summer break from college. About a month ago, he asked if his girlfriend from college, Liv, could stay with us the rest of the summer because she's going through a rough time at home. I wasn't fully on board with this idea because we already have our 2 kids, who are 11 and 9 years old, in the house, and have 4 adults and 2 kids, and our space is a lot. Yeah, that is a lot. And I might add, who's going to be paying for this girl? Who's going to be paying for her food? Probably this guy. And I would definitely, if it's not what he wanted, he shouldn't have gone along with this. But we're about to get into more details here. My wife has a soft spot for Ben and struggles to say no to him. So my concerns were dismissed, and now Liv is living with us until they go back to school. Smack! Bro, if you didn't want her living with you, then you should have said something. Absolutely. But right there, the mom has a soft spot for Ben. And I want to point out that this guy is his stepson. So this guy was foolish enough, not knowing any better, to get involved with and marry a single MOM. And who does the son go to? Who pretty much says what's what with the son? The mother has a soft spot for the guy. Here you go, guys. This guy needs to lay down the law. No, I don't want her in my house. But watch this. Watch where his, the saying, I forget what it is, something like, if you give a mouse a cookie, it will then ask for a glass of milk or something like that. First, one of the big reasons Liv wanted to change her living situation is because her parents are alcoholics. Now, I don't drink every day, but I do have an alcohol in the house, and I like to have some with meals sometimes, or a few cocktails on weekends. This is triggering for Liv to see a parent drinking with kids around. Triggering. Again, my house, my rules. If I want to crack open a freaking beer and have it with my meal, or I'm watching the game, I'm going to do it. And if she doesn't like it, tough shit, because she's a guest in my house that for free. I don't hear anything about her paying any rent or coughing up any dough. Oh no, we're not done yet. Second, Liv is a vegan. Oh, they're fun. We eat a lot of meat in our house. Pretty much every meal has meat involved. I also hunt, so we eat meat that I have harvested, and I have a few mounts on my walls. This makes Liv especially uncomfortable. Man, this place is a vegan's worst nightmare. Not only do they eat meat a lot, which newsflash, most households do, but he's got mounts on the wall of, you get the point. Ben and Liv sat down with my wife and I this past weekend and offered some suggestions to help live time here easier. Really, guys, this isn't bullshit. This is really happening. Their first suggestion was that if I want to drink, that I should do it in private and not around the kids. I tried to interject when they suggested this, but they asked to let them finish before saying anything. Hold on here. You're all sitting down in the meeting and telling me not to interrupt their ridiculous demands that I don't drink around my kids because it will be upsetting. This guy, right then and there, I wouldn't have gone along with her staying there. I've been like, get the fuck out. Take your fucking hippie moonbeam girlfriend and get the fuck out of here. And wife, you and I are going to have a talking to. Their next suggestion, because this isn't over yet, guys, was to allow Liv to cook vegan meals for us so that we don't eat meat very very much all the time. She offered to do grocery shopping and meal planning to provide vegan meals for us instead of our usual meals. Oh, now I can't eat what I want to eat. Finally, they asked if I could remove the mounts from the walls of the house until they go back to school in 6 weeks. Yeah, you can see why this story went viral, guys. When they finished, I asked if it was okay for me to talk now, and they said yes. I told them my answer to all their questions is no. I told them I appreciate Liv's offer to cook for us, and she's free to cook a few vegan meals for us during the week if she wants, but we are not going to completely change our diets for one person. But as far as their other suggestions, not happening. Good, bro. And still, get the fuck out. Go off to the fucking hippie compound where you want to live. Maybe there's a reason her parents are alcoholics, because this chick would drive me to alcohol too. My wife spoke up and said that maybe it wouldn't hurt to try their suggestions for a little bit and see how things go. Bitch, shut the fuck up and go in the kitchen and make me a goddamn sandwich. That's what I'd be saying to her. She said it's only 6 weeks and that changing our lifestyle a little bit for a short period wouldn't kill us. Again, I told you, get in the kitchen and make me a freaking sandwich. You see the enabling of the behavior here? Her jerk-off son and his jerk-off stepson is the way he is because she allows this. Because he doesn't have the final say with him. Because I guarantee if this was his flesh and blood son, this guy, wouldn't be pulling this crap. But, guys, what I tell you about getting involved with the single MOMs, you know, you can meet a cool one, but still, you're usually not going to have the final say with the kids. Because they're going to, you can get the "you're not my dad" thing. This is his house. I told all 3 of them that they want to change the way they live. They are free to do so, but they're not going to force me to change the way I live in my own home for a temporary guest. I told them that means I cook separate myself, so be it. But the mounts stay, and if I want a beer, glass, or wine, I'm going to have one. All 3 of them think I'm being unreasonable and that they aren't asking too much of me for a short period of time. For this chick, who's his 20-year-old son's girlfriend, who is living there because she has no other alternatives because her living situation is bad. Probably she's exaggerating about her living situation because they probably threw her out. You know, how's this chick going to operate in the real world? If they're in the city walking down the street in the city where there's often vendors selling pretzels and sausage sandwiches and hot dogs and stuff, what is she going to do? Have a meltdown right in the middle of the freaking street because the hot dog stand's coming up? They're going to go across the street? Right? Or they got to eat and she doesn't like what somebody's eating next to them, she's going to have a meltdown there. Or what about when she's on the job? Well, we know the answer to that because nowadays people try to accommodate people like this. Minority rule. This is ridiculous. You know, so guys, the point of this whole story, and again, you can see why this whole thing is going on. No, dude, you're not being unreasonable. The biggest a-hole in this situation, honestly, I'm going to say, is the wife. Because she raised this jerk-off kid to be this way. You know? Are you kidding me? The level of entitlement here is staggering. No, this guy should kick them all out. And if it was me, not that I'd be in their situation at all, but put me in his body right now and I got to take over, I would say, stepson and Liv, get the fuck out. Pack up your shit out of here right now. And wife, zip it. I don't want to hear a word. Then I would take her to the family room with all the mounts on the wall and say, here's the deal. I married you when you were single with a child. I took care of you and him, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to disrespect me in this house. And if that's how it is going to be, we're getting divorced right now. Period. It's done. Over with. I can move on. This guy's probably, I'm guessing, probably late 40s, 50s. Guess what? He can still move on. Will he take the hit in the divorce? Yeah, he will. But a man can move on. And better to be free and hurting for a little while than to deal with this shit. That's what I would do. You want to get divorced? We're going to get divorced. But I'm not going to tolerate this shit in my house. And your jerk-off, spoiled brat, entitled fuck son is out of here. Period. Especially his girl. And you enable his behavior. All right? This is the problem. He's going to be mooching off you the rest of our lives. You didn't raise a man. You raised a little fucking child. That's how things are going to be. That's what I would do. And that's just me. Now, again, the comment section is full of things, which I will read you guys now. One guy says here, I'm sorry if Liv is so uncomfortable that it might be in Liv's best interest to find somewhere else to live. You think? Rather than disrupting your household by redecorating your home, changing the family diet, and making you go on the wagon or become a closeted drinker, who does she think she is? Not the a-hole. Well, she's used to getting her way. People catering to her. Another one, not the a-hole. You actually have a wife problem that needs to be addressed. She caters to Ben at your expense, ignoring your concerns about Liv staying and suggesting you should make the requested changes while ignoring how you feel about it. Yeah, this guy should never let that girl into his house. Once they leave, I'd have a serious talk with her about needing both of your enthusiastic agreement before allowing a long-term guest to stay in the future, and that you need her to prioritize your feelings in your home over her adult son's. The above assumes that it's yours or your home that you contribute to living in. If it's her house that only she paid for, that's different. Not to say that your wishes should be ignored, just that her wishes weigh heavier if that's the case. There's no way this is her house. I read in the comments somewhere that she had him really young, so clearly this guy came in, the white knight, which is stupid as shit, took her in the single MOM, and I guarantee this is his house. Another one says here, she's going to chase down safe spaces to cater her BS because for her, it's an existential necessity. She feels empowered to even ask this stuff because everyone else in her life gave her that power. There you go. Quite frankly, if she lands a job at a place that also caters to that bullshit, she'll see that as a reinforcement that her request wasn't batshit insane. See also ESA, allergies, trauma, triggers, and exposure to any negative emotion of any kind, all under the demand that we cater to the unbound whims of others with infinite empathy. In the literal sense of that phrase, to hell with the concept of grit, resilience, gratitude, and anti-fragility. Amen. So again, kick the a-hole out. Both of them. So gentlemen, there you go. You can see why this is spreading around. So I want to hear in your comment section, guys, if this was your house, your castle, what you pay for, down payment, closing costs, monthly mortgage every year for 30 freaking years or however long period you had, and this happened to you, how would you handle this situation? I know you guys, most of you say I wouldn't be in this situation, but how would you handle this if your son or daughter or somebody brought in someone in the house and pulled this crap, and your wife tried to pull this crap, and they put you down for a meeting and said you couldn't speak? What would you say to these little a-holes? I want to hear about in the comment section how you would handle these two clowns. Let's hear it.